I'd like to call the Gurnee Village Board regular meeting of October 3rd, 2016 to order. Roll call, please, Donna.
Hood.
Here.
Wilson.
Here.
Ross.
Here.
Garner. Thorstensen.
Here.
Thomas.
Present.
All absent, present, one absent.
All right, and Trustee Garner did let us know that he was away for a work engagement. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, good evening. We have a healthy crowd tonight. It's nice. First up is public comment. If you'd like to address the board for something that's not on the agenda or that's going to be discussed tonight, you're more than welcome to come to the microphone and give your name. And if not, there'll be, oops, okay, we've got a taker.
I have some handouts to go with my comment.
Okay, you can leave the handouts with me and I'll distribute. And your name for the record?
My name is Susan Worrell. I live at 3518 Grove Avenue. And to start off, I wanted to say I'm really, really happy that some work is being done on our road. We're having storm sewer. They're putting in storm sewer on the north side of the street. And I think that's great. And I'm really happy about it. But it takes all of that water and puts it down to a point where the drains and culverts can't handle it. And what I've given you there is just one of the examples of what happens when it rains heavily in that area. All the way from, I guess, Lee down to Glen Flora, there is a flooding problem along that Boulevard View ditch. And I've talked to Public Works about it before. I've also talked to engineering about it before. And unfortunately, it's not something that they have in their budget, and they say that I need to speak to the village board about it to see if we can do something about it. And it's not just a one-time occurrence. I mean, it's been going on since I've lived there. I've talked to some of my older neighbors that have been there for a longer period of time, and it's been going on, since they've been living there. But we really never address it, and I'm hoping that maybe it could be addressed.
Is it flooding in your basement or in your home or just on the street?
It doesn't flood in my basement
Okay.
each time that we have a heavy rain like that, but it has flooded my basement when we have the heavy downpours and the streets flood. I know this, if you see on some of those photos, the rain flows over Grove Avenue instead of under, and I've been told that one of the problems, and I don't know if there are more, but one of the problems is that the culverts under Grove Avenue are not large enough to accommodate all the water.
And that's probably a true statement because this would have been an area we annexed. So it wasn't built up to the village's specifications, so storm water would be needed. You know what, I will take these, I'll go over it with engineering and see where it is and what they feel it would take to fix it. But I'm glad to hear it's not in your home. That would be,
Yeah, I know it's a pretty big project. Another thing that does happen, not when it's flooding, but in summer, the stagnant water, I know it flows a little bit, but the water is stagnant in spots, and then we get more mosquitoes too. So, yeah, if we could do something about the flooding and the mosquitoes, that would be great.
All right, well, let me take a look at, thank you very much for bringing it. This is for David. All right, anyone else tonight? All right, you'll have another opportunity at the end of the meeting. I'll move on to approval of the consent agenda as presented. Motion by Trustee Ballmer, second by Trustee Thorntonson. Roll call, please. Donna?
Hood.
Yes.
Wilson.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Thorstensen.
Yes.
Thomas.
Aye.
All ayes, one absent.
All right, motion carries. Patrick, please read the consent agenda into the record.
Item number 1, approval of the minutes from the September 26, 2016 Village Board meeting.
Item number 2, approval of request for Fire Department Training Medical Officer John McNeil to attend the GEMIS EMS Today Conference in Salt Lake City, Utah from February 23rd through 25th, 2016 at an estimated cost of $1,420. Item number 3, approval of setting bid date of October 26, 2016 for the 2016 water main replacement project. Item number 4, approval of bills for period ending October 3rd, 2016 in the amount of $328,071.30.
Thank you, Patrick. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as read into the record? Motion by trustee Balmas, second by trustee Ross. Roll call, please, Donna.
Hood.
Yes.
Wilson.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Thorstenson.
Yes.
Balmas.
Aye.
All ayes, 1 absent.
All right, motion carries, and we will move on to petitions and communications. First is a proclamation for Fire Prevention Week, October 9th through 15th, 2016. The Village of Gurnee is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living in and visiting the village, and fire is a serious public safety concern, both locally and nationally, and homes are where people are at the greatest risk from fire. And roughly half of all residential fire deaths result from fires reported at night between 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. when most people are asleep. And according to NFPA research, working smoke alarms cut the chance of dying in a fire in half. And Gurnee's first responders are dedicated to reducing the occurrence of home fires and home fire deaths and injuries through prevention and proper education. And the 2016 Fire Prevention Week theme, Don't Wait, Check the Date, Replace Smoke Alarms Every 10 Years, effectively serves to educate the public about the vital importance of replacing the smoke alarms in their homes at least every 10 years, and to determine the age of their smoke alarms by checking the date of manufacture on the back of the alarms. Now, therefore, I, Christina Kavarik, Mayor of the Village of Gurnee, do hereby proclaim October 9th through 15th, 2016, to be Fire Prevention Week throughout the Village of Gurnee. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Wilson.
Second.
Second by trustee Thorstenson. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? All right. Not get it right yet. All right. No other petitions and communications. Any reports?
No,
All right. Old business?
not tonight.
Wow. Moving right along on to new business. First item is approval of ordinance 2016-68,
68.
adding one Class 4 liquor license by amending Section 6-56 of Article 2 of Chapter 6 of the Gurnee Municipal Code, entitled Alcoholic Beverages, as last amended by ordinance number 2016-51, passed August 8th, 2016. This is for the Target at 6601 Grand Avenue. Do we have the manager here? Oh, there you are. Okay, good. All right. We have the petitioners here, too. So, Patrick, you want to just give a
Sure.
brief-
Target's applied for a Class 4. Class 4 allows for the sale of alcoholic liquor only for consumption off premise or sold. We currently have 6 Class 4s in the village. Jewel, Sam's, Walmart, Mariano's, and the 2 Cardinal liquor stores are Class 6 license holders. Applied for this permit. Police department ran it through their normal application process and found nothing to preclude issuing the license, so it's before you tonight for consideration.
Questions from trustees?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All right. Motion by trustee Ballmer, second by trustee Wilson. Roll call, please. Donna?
Hood.
Yes.
Wilson.
Aye.
Ross.
Aye.
Thorstenson.
Yes.
Balmas.
Aye.
All ayes, 1 absent.
All right. Motion carries. Congratulations. You have your liquor license now. Just be good with it. Okay. Next up, approval of ordinance 2016-69, granting a zoning map amendment pursuant to the Gurnee zoning ordinance for 79 South Delaney Road.
Sure. The next 2 items on the agenda are related, so I'll summarize them together, and then we have representatives from the township here if there's questions from the village board after that. So the township, as you know, they purchased residential property behind their youth and family services and special recreation offices down on Greenleaf, 100 South Greenleaf. Purchased the property due to a need for additional parking. So to accommodate the expansion of the current parking lot to the west, they're requesting two things. The first is a zoning map amendment here that rezones the eastern 74 feet of the residential property from R3 to O1, and then the special use permit is the next item on the agenda that allows the expansion of the parking lot. They were before the Planning and Zoning Board on August 3rd with the plan, which was a little more larger than what's before you tonight. They were looking to rezone 160 feet and then tear down the residential house and create a park. The neighborhood was at that meeting, expressed their concerns. The hearing was ultimately continued. They came back September 7th with a revised plan, which is to rezone the 74 feet and leave the home on the residential property. So the 74 feet for the parking lot creates an additional 25 stalls for them. The PZB voted unanimously for a favorable recommendation on both requests. They did have some conditions attached to the special use permit, which is the next item on the agenda here, and I'll read those off. First, that any parking lot constructed on site has a minimum setback of 10 feet from the southern property line, which is Oglesby, 16 feet from the northern property line. Two, that a 6-foot tall opaque solid wood fence be installed along northern, that should be western, right? The 6-foot tall, 6-foot tall fence is on the western side, and then an 8-foot tall fence is on the northern side for the portion of the property that's zoned O1 that overlaps with the residential property to the north. So get a 8-foot tall fence in between the parking lot and the residential property to the north. That the site only be used for parking associated with the government building they have there. That the property legally described in the township's amended petition shall be legally consolidated, so combining the parking lot with the current property that the township uses. That the project be constructed in substantial conformance with the lighting and landscape plan that they provided. That a no right turn sign be installed at the exit of the expanded parking area, and then that no overnight parking sign be installed in the expanded parking lot area. So those were the 7 conditions that were placed on the special use permit. The original proposal did receive a formal written protest to the township's original plan. So as a result, it requires 2/3 of the village trustees to approve the request this evening. So that's it, kind of in a high-level summary. As I said, the township's here, and any specific questions, either they or staff would be able to answer.
We do have our township supervisor, Sue Simpson, with us tonight, and her board and clerk. So appreciate you guys coming tonight. Questions from the trustees? The township worked closely with the neighboring residents to come up with a plan that everybody's happy with. It actually looks really nice, so thank you.
Seems like a good use.
It looks like a good compromise.
So if there's no questions, do I have a motion to
So
approve?
moved.
Motion by trustee Balmas.
Second.
Second by trustee Ross. Roll call, please.
Hood,
Yes.
Wilson,
Aye.
Ross,
Aye.
Thorstensen,
Yes.
Thomas.
Aye.
All ayes, 1 absent.
All right. That motion carries. And approval of ordinance 2016-70, granting a special use permit to Warren Township pursuant to the Gurnee zoning ordinance for a property located at 79 South Delaney Road. Motion to approve.
Motion.
Motion by trustee Wilson, second
Second.
by trustee Thorstensen. Roll call, please, Donna.
Hood,
Yes.
Wilson,
Aye.
Ross,
Aye.
Thorstensen,
Yes.
Thomas.
Aye.
All ayes, 1 absent.
All right, motion carries. Congratulations.
How boring.
Carry on. Item number 4, approval of ordinance 2016-71, granting a zoning text amendment to Article 10.2.9, which is accessory structures and uses, specifically fences, of the Gurnee zoning ordinance.
Sure. So I'm going to let Tracy run you through this one. When we updated the zoning ordinance, we changed some language regarding corner side yards and fences, and now after it's been in place for a little bit here and on the street, we're recommending to go back to what we originally had. So Tracy's going to walk us through that.
Okay. So as Patrick said, we are proposing an amendment to the zoning ordinance regarding residential fence regulations, specifically for corner lots. The existing code currently does not allow fences taller than 3 feet if they're closed or 4 feet if they're semi-open in any corner side yard on a residentially zoned property. The previous code did allow 6-foot tall fences in corner side yards under certain conditions, and I'll go through those. Before I do, I think there's a few terms, zoning regulation terms, that we need to understand in order to understand fence regulations. The front lot line is, for a corner lot, the front lot line is the lot frontage that has the shorter dimension, and then the lot frontage that has the longer dimension is the corner lot line. Let's see, I think I have, so in this case, this is the shorter dimension, that's going to be the front. This is the longer dimension, it's going to be the corner side. There are 2 types of corner lots. There's a standard corner lot, and that's a corner lot where the corner lot line abuts the corner lot line of the adjacent lot. And here you'll see this is a corner lot line, and it abuts the corner lot line of the adjacent corner lot. Then there's a reverse corner lot, and that's where the corner lot line abuts the front line of the adjacent corner lot. Here's a situation where you have a corner lot. This is the front yard. This is the corner side yard that abuts this lot's front yard. Again, here you have a front corner side and abuts this yard's or this lot's front lot line. A closed fence is a fence where 50% or more of the face of the fence is solid. An example of that would be like a stockade fence or board-on-board fence. And then a semi-open fence is where you have more than 50% of the fence is open, like a picket fence or a wrought iron fence. Now, the fence code prior to 2015 allowed for a standard corner lot where you had the corner side yard abutting the other corner side yard. It allowed for a 6-foot tall closed fence on a corner lot starting from the rear of the structure, of the principal structure, going out to the corner side property line and then back to the rear yard to enclose the rear yard. The entire area in yellow is the corner side yard, and anywhere in there you can still put up a 3-foot tall closed or 4-foot tall semi-open fence. Now, prior to 2015, the reverse corner lot requirements would allow for a 6-foot tall fence starting from the rear wall of the principal structure, just like on a standard, all the way back to the rear property line. But because this is the adjacent lot's front yard, the requirement is that it can only extend out, well, it has to be set back actually, 2/3 of the adjacent lot's front yard setback. So the area here in yellow is the corner side setback. The fence can only go out 1/3 of the adjacent lot's front setback. Anywhere in yellow, you can still install a 3-foot closed or 4-foot semi-open fence. Now, in 2015, we decided that we wanted to simplify the code. We had it was difficult for a lot of residents to understand the difference between a corner lot and a reverse corner lot, and then to understand the setback requirement of 2/3 of the adjacent lot's front setback. So what we did was we surveyed other communities in the area, and we found that there were a number of communities in the area that do not allow 6-foot tall fences in corner side yards. And there's an example of some: Buffalo Grove, Lindenhurst, Grayslake, Waukegan, Haynesville. So we amended the code in 2015 to make it a lot simpler. Basically, you weren't allowed to put a 6-foot tall fence in any corner side setback, whether it was on a standard corner lot or a reverse corner lot. Again, this example shows the corner side yard highlighted in yellow, and the fence would have to come off the back of the house straight down. It couldn't encroach into the corner side yard at all if it was a 6-foot tall fence. Again, that yellow highlighted area, you could still install a 3-foot tall closed or a 4-foot tall semi-open fence. And again, it was the same thing for a reverse corner lot. With the change in code in 2015, no fences of 6 feet in height could be in any corner side yard. So again, you'd have to set it back totally out of that corner side yard if you wanted to do a 6-foot tall fence. Again, in that yellow area, you could still do 3-foot tall closed, 4-foot semi-open. What we'd like to do is reinstate the provisions prior to 2015. There are other communities that do allow fences in corner side yards. Several of them are Libertyville, Vernon Hills, Lake Bluff. They have a number of different residential zoning districts, and on certain residential zoning districts, you can put fences of 6 feet in corner side yards. We also found that many residents already have fences taller than 4 feet 4 feet in height that are closed in their corner side yards or in their reverse corner side yards, and they cannot replace them because they're legal nonconforming. I think we underestimated the number that are out there and the age of the fences, and we're getting a lot of requests to replace. Also, one of the goals of the zoning ordinance update was not to create a lot of legal nonconforming situations or conditions, and unfortunately with this code change we did. Also, the regulations will not negatively impact adjacent property owner values or views, nor the character of the community, as these fences already exist in the community and haven't been a problem in the past. And the regulations, staff believes, strike a balance between allowing property owners a reasonable use of their property while protecting the property values of the adjacent landowners. And that's it, if you have any questions.
How many times did you rehearse that?
Just once.
God dang. That was, from anybody else, that would have been confusing.
Could you please repeat it?
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
You were here for the Plan Commission meeting. It did not go as smooth.
No excuse.
It sounds reasonable. I know it has created consternation for a few residents that have tried to replace a fence, and then we're trying to explain to them why they can't replace what they already have. Questions from the trustees?
Great research by the staff.
Thanks.
Just another one of those times that you try to make it simple and it becomes more complicated.
Yeah, unintended consequences.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion from trustee Balmas, second from trustee Hood. Roll call, please. Donna?
Hood,
Yes.
Wilson,
Aye.
Ross,
Aye.
Thorstensen,
Yes.
Balmas.
Aye.
All ayes, one absent.
All right. Motion carries. Have we issued a lot of permits, or did we make people go through a variance process, or?
We haven't issued a ton of the permits for corner side yards. A lot of them, a lot of property owners, I let them know that I was contemplating this change. Some of them didn't really have an issue and they wanted to put up the fence and they didn't want to wait for the text amendment. But tomorrow morning I have probably 2 people that I'm probably going to call because they withdrew their fence permit applications because of the change. And I have, I think, 3 in my inbox right now that are pending that I can't issue because I can't until the
Okay.
change goes through. I didn't know if it would go through or not.
All right, well, at least we'll make it right to the best of our ability.
Right.
Okay. Hey, good. That's all of our new business for tonight. I reopen the floor for public comment. If you'd like to address the board. If not, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by
Second.
trustee Balmas, second by trustee Thorstensen. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Motion adjourned.